Good afternoon. I'm Doris Hall James,
And I'm Gilbert Lomax Jr.
and we're here today. We're here today to welcome you to the first International R&B Music Day celebration.
Yes, it's a great celebration, a
Yes,
great
it
day.
is.
And Doris Hall
Yes.
James with Simply Music went out and invited a lot of local artists to give their opinions and express their opinions
Yes.
on this day and how they feel about it. Because there were so many of them that she brought in, I didn't want to make it all, well, excuse me, we didn't want to make it one long video for you.
Yes.
So we broke it up into episodes. That way you can pick and choose which one that you want to see. And
we want to thank you for your support. You've supported us, and we really needed that support, and we thank you for that. Now, what we would like for you to do is now sit back and enjoy. This is R&B Day. Sit back and just enjoy, because the best is up next.
yes, it is.
Wonderful. Yes, yes. Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Doris Hall James, and you were listening to the talented Alfie Pollock. Alfie has been doing music for many, many years, and he's one of the ambassadors of the Sounds of Philadelphia. Alfie is a musician, keyboardist, songwriter, producer, arranger, composer, teacher, and dancer. Welcome, Alfie.
Thank you.
It's so
my pleasure
good to
being
have
here.
you today.
It's my pleasure being here.
Well, welcome to the National R&B Music Day. Are you excited about that?
Yes, I am.
I am excited too, because this is
Okay.
the first that we've ever had. And we want to make this a grand day, right? We want to talk about some of the artists from yesterday, and we want to talk about some of the things that you're currently doing,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
So let's get down with this interview, and you tell us about some of these artists.
Oh, some of the artists?
Yes.
Well, okay. Jahar and Mustafa Shabazz came up with a concept called the Unsung Heroes and Ambassadors of Sounds of Philadelphia. And so I have a list of folk who don't get the props and don't get the shout-outs as much as other people, you know. So these are some of the Philadelphia fabric and, you know, musical people helped made this stuff happen, made it happen. We had Eddie Green. Okay, Eddie Green played piano on Me and Mrs. Jones and other stuff. Zach Zachary was the alto voice of MFSB, Sound of Philip. Also, Ron Everett. Ron Everett was a trumpet player, a songwriter, a poet, and a playwright. And he also sang with a doo-wop group called the Castells, and they recorded this back in the early 50s. Michael Sugar Bear Foreman, the bass player, was my main mentor in cutting my teeth, if you will, into learning how to play this music and what elements should be in the sound of Philadelphia and what rules you abide by and things that are no-nos, and also he hooked me up with a job working with Teddy Pendergrass. We worked together with Billy Paul, and we first met. We were working with Major Harris when Love Won't Let Me Wait first came out. So he and David Cruz, the percussionist, we worked together with Teddy Pendergrass when Teddy left Harold Melvin and went on his own. So we got a lot of people here. Lamb Chops Curry. He was a Chicago guy transplanted here. Also another Chicago guy, Quentin Joseph, call him Zob, drummer. He played on a lot of this stuff, like with the Shy Lights and other stuff, you know. Famous records out done in Chicago. Okay, Robert Kenyatta Crippen. Robert Kenyatta, he played with the Beach Boys. He's a percussionist. He worked with Billy Paul. He's on an album called Going East with Billy Paul. He's worked with Sonny Rollins, so many people, you know. So we had Loretta Adams. So Loretta Adams was a woman who was a black entrepreneur, female, and she came up with. She had a place called Loretta's Hi-Hat, which was a nightclub in Lawnside, New Jersey. You know, right over the bridge from Philly, and also, I believe, if I'm, you know, that she was one of the sponsors. The sponsors when Kenny Gamble first, before he, you know, took off with his own record label, he opened a record store at Broad and South in Philadelphia, and I think she was the person who supported him financially due to that.
Great.
Also, we got Carl and Roland Chambers. So Carl and Roland Chambers here, we have a photograph of these 5 guys here, okay? And this group is called Kenny Gamble and the Romeos. So here we have in the middle Kenny Gamble, famous songwriter, so many hits. He's heard all over the world. Roland Chambers, guitarist. His brother Carl Chambers on drums. Tom Bell, famous arranger, producer, songwriter, keyboard, and Winnie Wilford, bass player, with this group Kenny Gamble and Romeos. And also this band, they played on, you know, like early stuff like the Archie Bell and the drums, all kind of stuff, you know. So that's Roland, and Roland is one of my main mentors too in the sound of Philadelphia, because he also, you may have heard of Norman Harris. I'm told that Roland was his teacher, taught him guitar, you know, and expanded on what he did. And of course, Norman Harris was one of our great talents, you know, and producer and, you know, world, you know, icon, you know, original. All these people are like originals. They're original people.
Mm-hmm. And they and they made so many contributions to the music industry that we really don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That's right.
And this, going over this today, for R&B Music International Day, let the public know all the things that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I see you have so many. It's so many that you can't read them all, but they've all contribute so much to our music world. Well, let's try. Let's go. Let's try. Let's go down the list. Let's go. Okay. Let's try.
So I'm gonna give a shout out to the Teddy Pendergrass Orchestra, the Teddy Bear Orchestra.
Okay.
All those musicians that were part of that. Wow Wow, James Carter,
Wow
Sam Reed was a musical director. So many people. Teddy's Angels, who were Teddy's background singers, Harriet, Sherry, Connie, Roderio, Melva, on and on and on. And Teddy's, the Teddy Bear Dancers, four young ladies, great, Karen and Edna, and the whole crew. Also, I'd like to mention Reuben Benson. Reuben Benson is he's a graphic artist, and he designed a lot of the logos for the Sound of Philadelphia for Kenny Gamble, and he did a book that's of the covers, the album covers of the Sound of Philadelphia record albums.
Okay.
And it's a great book, and he's a very thorough.
Now, what's his name again? Give it to
Reuben Benson. He's another
Reuben
Philadelphian, and
Oh, I met him.
he's also written, helped with Harry Coombs, who was at one point the vice president of Philly International. He did Harry's book. Harry was also part of the Sound of Philadelphia and other sounds in Chicago and on and on and on, as far as a promoter and organizer to boost people's careers, Like at one point he was Maurice White from Earth, Wind and Fire. He's Maurice's, before Maurice really took off, they were business partners. And he worked with Ray Charles, he worked with so many people. And what's the guy's name? I Walk on the Wild Side. What's the guy's name?
Walk on the Wild Side. I don't know.
Ramsey Lewis.
Oh, Ramsey Lewis.
He was Ramsey,
Okay.
Ramsey's
Yeah,
manager and so many things. We lost Harry last year. Okay. So I see the time is ticking. I'm just going to try to go over a few more people here.
Okay.
I want to leave out Carl Helm. Carl Helm, radio disc jockey and also singer. He and Bunny Sigler and Phil Hurt, Kenny Gamble at times, Tom Bell at times sang backgrounds on a lot of the hit records you've heard out there, that we've heard out there.
Yes, thank you to them. Thank you. Yeah.
Great man, great man. He and I grew up together. He's from Ardmore, and I grew up in Bryn Mawr. We went to Ardmore Junior High School together. It's my main man,
Okay.
Carl Ski
Okay.
Helm.
Right.
Carl, Helm. Show.
We hope
Okay.
to get him on one of these interviews one day.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Okay.
All right. Lee Smith, bass player. I met Lee when he was with Billy Paul back in '74, and his son is a world famous jazz bassist named Christian McBride. Okay, that's his son. And so Tony Jones, great musician, we worked together with Billy Paul. He's worked with Nina Simone. So many people. We had road managers. We had like Gerald Roberts and Harold Kojo Preston. Gerald managed Billy Paul. Norman Connors. And of course, mentioned Norman Connors. Like we grew up together, Norman. And Kojo or Preston, he was a road manager for Billy Paul, and also was the production manager and tour manager for Ain't No Stopping Us Now tour when that record came out, and also to Clean Up the Ghetto. So we're winding down time. Phil Terry and is a surviving, still with us, member of the Intruders, the original Intruders. Also, Lloyd Parks is a surviving original member of Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes when Teddy was with them, and on and on and on. Okay?
Can I read some of those names?
If you can make out
Okay,
my
because some of
handwriting,
it's kind of rough, but I'm going to try.
it'll set you crazy.
Okay. Okay. Now, I want to thank all of you who contribute to the music sound in Philadelphia and worldwide. But some of the names Alfie didn't mention, I just want to mention Larry Washington, Ronnie Baker, Tamaj Conway, Terry Price, Douglas City Brown, Norman Harris, Jack Faith, Eddie Jones, T. Floyd, Dexter Wanzel, George Buzzy, Greg Moore, Melvin and Melvin Seals.
Melvin and Mervyn Seals.
Okay,
wrote,
got it. Okay. Let me hear it. Yes. Fantastic.
We are falling in love.
The the Futures,
T-Light.
Teddy Bear, the Teddy Bear Break, the dancers.
I mentioned
Okay, Harry Coombs, right?
I mentioned him.
Let's see if anybody else that we didn't. I think you mentioned everybody else.
Carrie Gilbert
Carrie Gilbert.
co-wrote Me and Mrs. Jones.
That was Billy Paul, right?
For Billy Paul.
Okay.
Also Living for the Weekend. And Don't Leave Me This Way.
This is history. All of these artists, all of this music that
It's
they
history,
have.
and it's not a mystery.
That
It's no mystery.
here he
It's
goes.
history. It's not a mystery.
They have done so
It's
much
real
for
people
us.
here.
And what are you going to do, or what are you doing to keep R&B music alive?
Well, I'm practicing every day,
Okay.
annoying my neighbors,
Okay.
as it is said. So far, they haven't picketed my home.
Now I hope they don't do that.
Hopefully,
Alfie.
that won't,
Okay.
won't go to that level.
And you're still recording.
Still recording. In
You
fact, you and I, you know what?
Yes, we've
We are
collaborated on a
collaborating.
tune,
We
and
have
we're
a
going to
tune.
play that later.
Oh,
Okay.
that tune, Doris,
Isn't
you did
that so?
You
I am a dynamite songwriter. I mean, I'm
and
telling
you,
you.
you threw down on that singing. I'm
Yeah, I'm trying.
Oh, Doris, are you
Yeah.
signing autographs today?
Maybe after we're finished. Okay.
Perhaps. Oh,
Okay.
I can't wait. What about you? I hope you all listen up.
Yeah,
You
we're
gotta
going to do this. We're gonna
Hopefully
do this.
you heard it here. It's a smash. All right in the tradition of R&B, from
R&B.
the vibe, the flavor from back in the day, with some of today's twist to it. And
Raised on
You know,
R&B.
hey,
I have to tell you one other thing. It was something else when I grew up, because all I wanted to do was play R&B, and my mentor was Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
And I mean, and he's still my mentor. So
Okay.
Smokey, if you hear this, I want you just to know you're my mentor.
Smokey
but-
Bill Robinson.
But
Go
what
ahead.
I'm going to say is thank you, because
my
Gilbert
pleasure.
has given us the countdown. Okay,
Mhm.
so thank you for participating in the International R&B Day. Okay, March 5th. Thank you. Hi, Valerie.
Hi, how are you, Doris?
I'm doing good. You look just as good as ever.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Oh, give me a hug.
So do you.
It's so good to see you.
It's great seeing you.
And I'm so honored that you're here with me today to
Thank you.
celebrate this R&B Day.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that?
Girl, I am so excited. It's
Yeah.
about time.
Isn't it about time?
Hmm.
We struggled so long to get this day. We struggled for a long time.
Yes.
Back there in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, and we were out there doing that. And I just couldn't believe that we never really got recognition for the R&B Day.
I know, that's strange, ain't it?
Hmm. But we looked it up, and like they had R&B Day for rock and gospel,
Right.
and for jazz and for blues, and so many other genres,
Yes.
but not for R&B.
Exactly.
So Cliff Perkins,
Okay.
he decided to go ahead and try to politic to get us this day.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he won, and he got us this day. And I'm just and all the artists I've talked to, they are really excited about it.
Yes, I'm sure they are.
Mhm. And this means a lot to me, because a lot of the music, like I was telling you before, I've written like 160 songs, right?
Yes.
And now I'm going to try to get those songs out, because you celebrate.
Yes.
And I know you did a lot of writing. Tell me some of the things you've done.
Well,
Writing,
tell you.
singing, performing. Tell me all of it.
there is nothing better than performing.
Oh,
The
God.
song.
Okay.
You're actually living the story at the moment and
Mhm.
able to project it out to your audience and have
Okay.
them feel it, the way it's needed. R&B has always been very dear to me because I grew up in the 60s.
Okay.
And the songs that I grew up with
Mhm.
were songs that always had romance,
Mhm.
fantasy. You were able to fantasize and, just use that that fantasy within your relationship,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or family.
Yeah.
And it brings you back to great times.
Yeah.
I've, you know, growing up in the 60s and 70s, I think that was the best time of all.
Yeah. And some of those songs, like the lyrics.
That's what I'm talking about, the
Oh
lyrics.
my God.
And it's people like Pat Johnson. Love That Brought You Here was one of my favorites when I was a kid, you know, coming up. And the way they sung those songs, oh, it just
Yeah.
touches you.
Mhm.
Like, you know, and the Dells.
The Dells. Oh my
Oh.
God, the Dells.
I love the
moments,
Dells.
all those,
you know, the
guys.
moments.
Yeah.
It's just so many of them.
Mhm.
Black Ivory, you
Yes.
know. And then again, your husband, Fat Larry.
And he worked his butt off in the entertainment field. Thank you for
Oh
mentioning him.
yes. Oh
Because
yes.
he was a driver. He wouldn't have known what to do if he didn't have his music.
I know. He
You
was an
know?
awesome drummer.
He was something. He was one of the many artists that, you know, that was his life.
Yes, yes.
And he couldn't sleep. He would eat now, but he couldn't sleep. He was up all night writing songs and
Yeah.
trying to do the best he can as an artist for
Yes.
R&B. He just
Yes.
loved it. And he worked with Philly Cream a long time, didn't he?
That's right. He sure did. He worked with us, Terry Price.
Terry Price, yeah.
We have several people that work
Mhm.
with us. We had a lot of people very interested in us as well.
Mhm.
You know, Maurice Starr, you know, Star
Right.
Search, you
Mhm.
know, we opened up for New Edition and, you know, different people. You know, we stayed in Atlantic City, opened up for all the big acts down there. And that was
Oh,
a joy
God.
because you
Yeah.
had a chance to see all the acts, you know,
Mhm.
after you performed. And it was just a wonderful time. R&B is like
Oh, it's
the
great.
greatest to
It's
me.
great. Well, you know, Val, a couple songs I can't, but one of the songs you did, Jamming at the Disco, I was co-writer on that.
I know. I know.
I was looking at it. One day I called Butch Ingram and I said, well, Butch, who wrote? He said, you. I said, I did. He said, yeah, because you forget.
Right.
It's been
right.
so long, you
Mhm.
just forget those things.
Yeah.
You know, but you've done such great work in the entertainment field.
Thank you.
And you have made such great contributions to the entertainment field. Now, did you write any of the songs that you've done?
I had wrote a song when we stayed in Brazil. We stayed in Brazil about 7 months and with the whole band, and we wrote an album.
Okay.
And I wrote the song, but I cannot quite get my hands
I
on
know,
it right
we can't
now.
remember. We can't remember those things. We can't. There's a lot
Yeah.
of songs. But you toured, you traveled all over, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What are some of the places, where have you traveled?
Singapore, Japan,
Mhm.
Indonesia, Hong
Mm.
Kong, Shanghai, Germany. I mean, almost the whole map of the world. Actually, there's a few places still that I would like to visit as well.
Well, do they really like all of our R&B? Did they like our R&B music, or you had to do different music when you traveled?
They like our music.
Okay, all right. I love to hear that.
And they want to hear us do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. And they appreciate it so well. So well.
Okay, okay. Well, that's good because I always, I know we went over to London. I went over there with Fat Larry's band, and I
Mhm.
went over with a group called Slick.
I remember
And
Slick.
yeah, and we traveled, and they knew our music as well as we did.
Yeah,
As well as we did, they knew our music.
exactly. Exactly. And it is funny because even in Shanghai, Hong Kong, and those places, you'd be singing, they could sing right along with you those words.
Oh.
And then they have artists out there that mimic us,
Uh-huh.
and you wouldn't even hear their accent. And some of them might sound a little better than you.
Well, they did
But that's
that.
how well they appreciate your music. And when
Oh,
I
God.
was surprised when I went to Korea,
Mhm.
and you know, when people were downloading songs, when LimeWire was out,
Mm.
they had songs from way back when I was a kid.
God,
You know,
yeah.
songs that some of my friends weren't familiar with that I
Mhm.
was familiar with. And the only
Mhm.
reason why I was familiar with them because I have older brothers and sisters where I was able to hear some of their music
Mhm.
that they listened to and partied from. So they were definitely, everybody's into R&B, everybody, and they enjoy it.
So we can't let it die.
We can.
We can't let it die. And there's so many other, like they have digital music, they have all kinds of things that's happening. And R&B means so much to us. So we're here today because we want to tell you how much it means to us and what we're doing to keep it alive.
Yes.
And I know that I'm still trying to produce or write songs and do that kind of stuff, keep it alive. So tell me some of the things that you're doing.
Well, right now, I'm looking forward to doing some shows this summer. I haven't done much since the pandemic, you know, and also taking care of my mother before passing. However, I'm still open to do more shows and stuff. I still have my my band, and our last job was in Hong Kong.
Oh gosh,
yeah, our last job was in Hong Kong.
Great. Okay, that's great and awesome.
And you know, I've worked with your husband before.
Yes,
He produced one of the songs that I had recorded down south, and we redid that over. And then I worked with Tony Camillo, who was co-producer of Midnight Train to Georgia for Gladys Knight.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I've worked with several producers throughout the years, you know. But my thing has always been like live shows. I love performing the live shows. Yes.
Yeah, because the one we did a couple years ago here in Philadelphia, in Mingle.
Yes.
You killed it. I had people continue to talk about
it. Oh, really?
Bring Valerie Ford back. And the only reason we, as Simply Music, stopped doing live shows was because of the pandemic.
Yes.
And you're kind of scared to schedule something because you don't know if it's going to take off again.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But Simply Music, we do live shows.
Yeah.
And we teach education, music education, the instruments, how to read music, and we do all that. And we have our own radio show. I have to say that. We have Philly Live Radio.
Right.
And Philly Live Radio plays your songs. Okay. We play your songs. It's 24/7.
Okay.
And we specialize, of course, in oldies but goodies R&B music.
Oh, yeah.
And we have three. Now I don't want to get this right. We have Carlos Devon as a DJ, and Dennis Sproul, Shirley Lights, and Oscar Murphy.
Right.
And we have a new jazz. I think it's Michael Bivens, and I hope I have it right. He does jazz.
Okay.
On Philly Live Radio. So we do that, and then we have a talk radio station.
Okay.
And it's called Simply Music Talk Radio.
Okay.
And that's when we bring people in just to talk.
Yes.
You know, because it's been hard now, and you know, people just want to talk about things.
Yes.
But our service is geared for musicians and entertainers.
Right.
And so we're gonna we're here today just to say how glad we are and the things that we do.
Yes.
You know, to keep R&B going on. And so how about recording? Are you planning to do any recording?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm still working with Mr. Tara Price.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, and hopefully doing something with you shortly.
Yes, yes. I need you for motivation, Valerie, and help me. Yeah.
Yes, I would love to do that. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in continuing recording.
Okay.
Because I do want to get something else out there.
Yeah. Yeah. If people always are looking, what is Valerie Ford doing? Well, she's coming. It just take a little. The pandemic did stop us.
Yes,
and you know that did.
Yeah.
That just stopped not only you and I, but that stopped all the entertainers. And we're so glad that we're still here and we're alive. And you know, God has given us another chance to do some more things.
Yeah, that's great because you know, Philadelphia was like the powerhouse for R&B.
Yeah.
Growing up,
Yeah.
I mean, this was the place to be.
Okay.
With so many musicians and singers. It was the place to be.
And it's still the place to be. So we want you to stay tuned and enjoy the R&B music that's being played, not only on Philly Live Radio, but other radio stations play it also. But with Philly Live Radio, we play it 24/7. And we do the Doris Hall James Indie Show. And that's the show where we sit down and we meet with the artists.
Yes.
And we talk to the artists. And we have their videos in an archive so that they will remember them and that they can go back to their own social media, and they're on YouTube also.
Right.
So join us and stay tuned. We have more videos coming, and remember, we're doing everything we can to keep R&B alive. And Miss Valerie Ford, I want to thank you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your contribution to the music industry, R&B.
Thank you. We're excited.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Herb.
What's up, Doris?
It's so glad to see you. I love this
Thank you.
red.
Thank you so much. Thank
You look
you.
great.
Thank you. Back at you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, you know, red is a color that I very seldom wear,
Mhm.
but it's a color that I love
Why do you very seldom wear it?
because my
You have that
son,
red guitar in front of you.
no,
look
you
good
know,
with
my
that.
son,
Right.
my oldest son, Greg, he growing up, he didn't like red.
Mhm.
So when he saw me in something red, he used to say, Mom, you know, I don't like you wearing red. So I never did buy red because my oldest
Oh,
son,
wow.
he
Okay.
never liked red.
Mhm.
So now in my closet, I have very few, and I used to see the girls in red, so I love it. But because my son didn't like it, I
Well, how old is he
wear it.
now?
53.
Oh, he's grown. Go do some red stuff. Go out tomorrow. You don't worry about him now. You should have been did that.
People say, I know
That
you're not
grown
still
dude,
living.
man, shoot.
I know you're not still living under that. I say,
Yeah,
yes,
man.
I am. If he comes here and see me in red right now, I say, Mom, you got on red? You know?
Yes, I do.
But
It's nice seeing you, son. Have a good day. I wore it because I knew you were coming. That's what you tell him.
Oh
Shoot.
God, it's funny. But how have you been?
I've been great.
You've been
Thank you for
working
asking
and
me.
doing a
Yes,
lot
I
of
have
work.
been
in it?
so fortunate, man. It's crazy. I am just like over the top. It's, you don't do this stuff by yourself,
Yeah.
Now, the track thing I do has been very successful for me. And man, it's crazy. I'm going on the cruise ship with Henry and them
Okay.
next.
UGO?
Yeah, UGO.
Okay.
As their guitar player next month for a week. Because the only time I've been on the road since leaving Patty was going on that cruise, because that gig, Henry's gig is a sweet one. The accommodations are right, the paper's right,
All right.
I don't want to go on the road. I mean, after you've
I
done that
know.
with 20 years with
I
Patty,
know.
I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
If I could see another airplane, I'm cool, But then that's good old guy stuff talking, y'all. I'm 68, by the way. I know I look good, right? Y'all better say I look good, damn it.
Well, tell me, are you excited about the R&B?
Yes, I am.
The R&B Day, March 5th?
That's going to be amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
Are they going to? So I don't know all the functions they're going to happen. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to go. Are there going to be performances and?
Now, I don't know all of the
Okay.
different things either. I was just asked to participate,
Mhm.
and I jumped at the opportunity to participate in something that I really love to
I
do.
love it,
I love
man.
R&B music.
Yeah,
So I guess they have different people in different areas doing different things.
yeah. It'll be fun to find out what
Yeah,
that's
I
about.
decided to do like the videos and that kind of thing,
Mhm.
something that I could handle because it was kind of short notice.
Mhm.
And Gilbert and I have been working, putting all this stuff together.
Mhm.
But Cliff Perkins,
Mhm.
was from Soul Generations.
Okay.
He is head sparing this.
Is he from Philly or?
I'm not
that it
sure.
matters. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But he's been hair sparing this here and getting the people involved, and it's just a great thing.
Mhm.
It's just a great thing.
Wow.
And I hope to meet him after, doing R&B, because I think they're having a R&B function that day, March 5th.
Right.
And I'm planning to attend.
Okay.
I'll get to meet all the people.
Coolness.
And then
Yeah,
next year,
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
it'll be
yeah.
a bigger kind of affair.
Yeah.
But this is like a last minute thing, although they've been working on it for a long time to
Mhm.
get it approved, because a lot of the music industry, the different genres, they have a day for their music,
Mhm.
like
Okay.
jazz, gospel.
Mhm.
Gilbert and I looked it up, and I mean, all of them had a day except R&B.
Mhm. Yeah, we need to have something like that.
'Cause-
I hope that can expound upon that. and
Yeah.
Have people performing, and it would be very nice,
We have worked for
Yeah,
this
yeah,
day.
Yeah.
All of our lives since 1960, 1970, we have worked for this day, and we deserve this day. So I'm excited too.
Yeah, but R&B has been good to me.
Yes,
It's
yes,
been,
yes,
I came
yes.
up at the right town,
Yeah.
man, at the right time. Oh my goodness, I'm so fortunate to, as I look back, from First Choice, I told you I got that
Yes.
gig with First Choice,
Uh-huh.
1973, Stan Watson, actually Norman Harris.
Stan Watson. Uh-huh.
Norman Harris picked me as their guitar player.
Norman Harris.
Yes,
Okay.
and he's a legend. And
Mm.
I ran with them for about 4 years, and then I tried to go to school, college. That didn't work. One semester, 1975, and then Dexter Wanzel's gig opportunity came in the fall of '76.
Okay.
And ran with him, and then Miss Patty came along in 1980 and did 20 years.
Oh,
Essentially,
20
well, it
years
was
with
20
Patti
years. It was
LaBelle?
20 years. I
Okay.
ran from 1980 to 2002,
Mhm.
with the exception of 2 years I was gone.
Mhm.
But then it was a great gig, and I grew my life and I started my family, and I've been doing great since leaving her. You know, April 10th will be the 10th year anniversary that her boyfriend got us all fired. It got me
Okay.
fired. So, but he did me a favor, guys. It's been great, you know, and I've been so fortunate. I've been at the Italian restaurant called La Cena for 15 years playing these track gigs. And through doing that, I've reinvented my career. And I've taught myself how to play keys because I actually
Yes.
make these tracks. Now, I'm not like a monster keyboard, but I'm like Donald
Yes.
and those guys. But I have a great chord sense and a great sense.
Mm.
So I'm playing at churches now. I have a church I've been at now, subtly. I've done several churches since, but this one I just got. And I'm doing left-hand bass chords against the drummer. And that's been working. And through that, so I'm going to be doing my first gig as a keyboard player, guitar player,
That's
May
great.
9th at Illusions.
Okay, I feel
Because
with Andrea
With
Jackson.
Andrea, yeah. So
Yes.
they want me to put a band together. They don't want the track thing. So I'm using Kim Payton, myself,
Mhm.
Tony Day on drums, and Cedric Napoleon,
Oh,
Pieces
okay.
of Dream.
All right.
And it's going to be a good gig. I have all of the repertoire worked out. We will have to get a rehearsal and everything, but that's going to be fun. So I feel confident I can pull this off,
yes,
you know.
Yes.
And those who want to come and see me, see if I fail, that's cool too.
Please. Well,
So, you know, whatever it is, it is.
when is it different? Let me see how I can ask it. Is it a different feeling when you're singing behind a track versus live music?
No, you know why?
Ah.
Because I play drums. I'm a drummer. I
Mhm.
told you, Billy Little,
Billy
because
Little. He's
Billy
on his way
Little,
to
when we
Philadelphia.
were, I know that's my dog, man. When we were like 13, it was 12 to my 14,
Mhm.
and this is 1968 and stuff. He got more attention from the girls than I did.
Get out.
So I was kind of an insecure
Okay,
kid.
Billy,
I got some
okay.
drumsticks and went home and learned to play drums because of him. Billy, thank you. So, my drums, and I play real bass in it. So I get it to feel like I want it to feel. A lot of the cover stuff, I'll actually record the song in Logic and then play the drums to it on the
Okay.
keyboard.
Okay.
That way I have the data representing that drum part, and then I can manipulate things. But the last thing I do is put live drums on top,
Mhm.
because it's essential that I have my drums sound like a drummer.
Okay.
Especially for oldies of
Yeah,
the music
yeah,
of our
yeah.
generation, because
Mhm.
those were drummers playing on those
drummers.
records. And so, no, it's how you build the tracks. A lot of these guys, it's called quantizing. They make the quantize so stiff that it's not real. You can vary the degree of what that is,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of things you can do to humanize it. It just depends. Some of the, like when I do those tracks, I'm not even dealing with the
So
click.
you create your own tracks.
I make them all.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's why I've learned to play
Okay.
these keys.
Mhm.
Because it was what happened when it just was who I was. When you and I were talking about this earlier, I got, I got the opportunity to play this restaurant. They wanted a track gig. They want to have conversations. You can get cats who can play that. You got to get the right cats to play a room like this, because they don't want a lot of volume,
Mhm.
but then they wanted to have presence. So it just evolved into me doing it this way. And but the way I play it, it's not clicked. It's not with the
Okay.
metronome. I just
Okay.
play and
Okay.
lock it up.
Well, I'm so very proud of you. I often turn on social media, go on social media, and I see you playing
Okay.
somewhere,
Mhm.
and it always sounds good.
Thank you.
And you sing along with, you're singing
Yeah.
and you're just putting on a show.
I've been blessed
Great.
with this. And
And you're a
fortunate, man.
songwriter.
The
You write
songwriter,
songs?
yeah. This all came from being a song. I saw Dexter at Tony's funeral, the late great Tony, man. I'm so
Tony.
sorry he
Tony
left us.
Jones.
Tony Jones, man. Anyway, but Dexter gave me a beautiful compliment. I said, man, it's all because I was trying to emulate you,
Oh.
because he's a serious producer. That brother, man.
Mm.
So I'm just so honored to have worked with him for those years. And so, but it's a continuation. If you got a passion for something, just keep it going.
Keep it going.
When I got fired from Patty, I was 48. And I looked at all my gear in the studio. I said, I can sell all this. I ain't getting no record deal. But then I counted, I said, I can't sell this equipment. And I drove my school bus for 18 years. That school bus was always plan B. And I retired from that with a little pension. And it's been good, man. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful, you know. Yeah. And it's not just me. It's other people have given me opportunities to do things. And the passion, like you were saying, for this music, stay at it, man.
I know I wanted to write. You know, I didn't really want, well, I wanted to be a Diana Ross all my life.
Right.
Ever since I used to sing her uptown. But I really wanted to write too. And I couldn't get that connection, you know, because everybody had to be writing with this, collaborating with this person. And who am I? They don't want me. So I went down to WMOT. And Lynn Barry was there. Yeah. And Lynn Barry was working on a song called Center City. Let's take a ride to Center City.
Okay.
He was working on it. And he was saying, So I said, I can help. Let me help.
Right.
And he looked at me and he said, aren't you Fat Larry's wife? I said, yeah. Come on in. He took me in. Him and I and Larry, we sat down and we wrote that song. Beautiful. So that was the first song that I had published, but not the first song that I had written. Wow. Because I had, like you saw me. I got songs. Right. But I was so grateful to get an opportunity. After I got that one opportunity, I was able to write and have my songs published. And that is a great thing.
That is a great thing.
And that's why I said back there, we need to take all these songs that we have and we need to really do something with them.
Yeah. I'll tell you my first stuff. So ironic, and I'm so blessed, lucky, whatever you want to call it. It's, you know, I got Derek Graves is my boy. In 1970, we played together in the summer. Billy Little put me with Derek Graves.
Okay.
So around 76, I get a call, 1976. Yo, Herb, and you hear this guy Dexter Wines on the radio? Yeah, I heard that record, man. It's hot. He needs a band. You want to join? And I'm like, what? Yeah, sure. So anyway, so we got together, and I'm mentioning all this because I just built my little studio that year. Worked as a guide guard at the Franklin Institute, got my money together. My boy Butch Curson was a drummer, but he was a contractor. Hooked my basement up, had a tight sound, and I had my 4-track. And here I am with a hot producer. And we actually had our first rehearsal in my basement.
Okay.
It blew my mind because Gene Carnes come into my house out of a cab. So anyway, so the whole music industry just came to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. So Dexter said, yo, her guys, we're going to cut the Delphonics. I said, I love them.
Oh, God.
So I wonder my.
They had some good songs, and you still hear
I love them. Tom Bell, come on, man, listen. Yeah. But anyway, so I go in my studio. I said, I'm going to try to write a song for them. And I came up with this song. I had the drum part, put the drum part down and put the music together, put everything. And I sang it, and I sing in a baritone voice, and that don't sound like the Delphonics. so I just put the song up, and I just had the cassette, and I let Dexter hear this joint, and he liked it. And he said, Herb, this is going to be on my album. I'm like, what? Yeah. So he gave me this opportunity. Yeah. And then he said, he liked my drumming on the record, on the demo. He said, I'm going to let you play drums on the record. Because he was crazy like this. But I'm like, wow. So brought me down Sigma. We was on the roads, and I counted off my drum part. And the thing was, he had Daryl Burgee there. That's my boy. I told him. Daryl Burgee waiting in the control room in case I messed this up. But I pulled it off, right? So anyway, to say all that is that he then created all the stuff. He featured me as the lead singer, and I mean, the song played on the radio and everything. And then Puffy sampled that same song in 1998, and I made some money from it.
Yes, that's great.
So the blessings are crazy. I look back at that part of my life and say, wow, you know, I was just a cat from Philly, you know, but I kept songwriting. I had some other things accepted down there, and I had some things that went through New York, through Kay Williams, and got me hooked up there. And it was starting to happen, but that kind of petered out. We were talking about that, and the connection thing and knowing who and everything. Yeah. So I was fortunate enough the guitar became more of what I was about, and I was received with that.
Okay.
And I landed that gig with Miss Pat and landed, and she grew, and I was able to grow through
That's
being with her.
wonderful. That's a good,
And
good
so,
story.
you know,
But so tell me in your words, what does R&B mean to you?
R&B means, look, black music.
Yes.
Look, how can I put this? Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
The label R&B I know was constructed, I believe, for record companies to define black music, right? Wasn't that what it was for?
Yeah.
Being a musician, we kind of don't see barriers between music because even rock is R&B.
Yeah.
The Elvis songs I found out were written by a black guy. Otis Blackwell was the guy who came up with that stuff. And it was a David Letterman clip about that. He actually performed his songs.
Okay.
So the Elvis music is really black music. Okay, so, but they wouldn't call that R&B.
Yeah, they call it something different.
This way it was rock or whatever it is.
Yeah,
bottom line. So
different.
it was a label that they came up with for marketing purposes, from what I understand. But that's okay. We know it represents all of the classic and beautiful stuff that came from our community.
Yes, yes.
And I'm so honored to still be in Philadelphia.
Be in Philadelphia,
And
healthy, can still do
healthy,
it.
you know what I'm trying to say?
And still can write.
And still
and
write.
sing and
Oh my
perform.
goodness.
Oh, thank you, God. And like lots of times when I was growing up, and I'm still in love with Smokey Robinson.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
tell you now.
Smokey. What are you talking
But
about?
when I was growing up, he was my inspiration.
Wow.
Because his lyrics and his melodies, oh my God, I just loved him. And no matter what my mother did, like she made us take piano and stuff, all I wanted to do was sing and play like Smokey Robinson.
Wow,
right?
wow, yeah.
And then I learned from that to express my feelings through song. Okay. And through song, like I could sit down, if I was having a bad day, I could write about my
That's
day.
beautiful, baby.
If I'm having a good day, if I was in love, if I got married,
Right.
I could always write. And that, that infested in me. And to this day, I always tell my partner, Gilbert, I have so much to write about that I've got to go back into
Yeah,
writing.
you should. Absolutely. Sometimes I remember George Benson saying that sometimes stepping away from your craft is good for your craft.
Yeah.
Because when you step back to it, you may bring a new life element to
Yeah.
it that will enhance your creativity. So being away from the process is good. Sometimes not knowing a lot and just going with your intuitions about anything, just stumbling in and letting that flow out. It's the best thing,
Well,
Your ignorance is important.
Yeah.
It's about your soul, just let your soul flourish. And but yeah, whole songwriting thing, I'm still doing
I
that.
just
But
love it.
the whole thing, I'm
miss.
Mr. Cynical. I get on a lot of people's nerves with this because I'm like, well, what's the point? But Spotify is going to give me under a penny for it.
Well,
And if I get it out, I got stuff online. It goes nowhere.
it goes nowhere.
And so, but at the
it's
same,
there, and you don't know what may happen.
well, that's true.
You-
You're
you just-
absolutely true.
We're this way
Right.
now, but maybe next week, maybe another way. You never
You
can
never
tell.
know.
So you keep building on your craft.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what I decided to do. I took some time off from the DHJ indie show just to try to find myself and to find some new things to do and to learn and to
You could always
advance
get the Wendy
myself.
Williams show now because she's
Yeah,
coming off.
I heard she's
She's
coming
coming
off.
off. It should be your shot now.
It's not, I don't want to do that. But it's someone else hired.
They got the
there's
girl
something
Sherry Shepherd or somebody. But so Wendy's got some kind of illness.
Yeah.
Graves' disease, they said it was on TV. I don't know what
sorry,
that is.
Wendy. I'm sorry.
Wendy. I'm sorry we went off the
Sorry,
track.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that the way we keep R&B music alive is just to keep doing it,
That's it, man.
right?
Yes.
We just keep doing it. We keep doing it, putting our recordings out. We keep promoting it. We keep performing. We keep talking about it. We keep doing our videos because that's the way we keep it alive.
Mhm.
Because like I said, it's this way today, maybe next week, next month, it will be flourishing.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're passionate, whatever you in life,
Just don't stop.
don't stop. Whatever you're passionate for. I try to tell children this. Sometimes it is about college. It is, but college should be directed to enhance your passion, your
Yes.
individual thing.
Yes.
So kids need to find out what that is.
Mhm.
And you know, we came up in an era kind of before a lot of meta, and not the Sanak today, but it's great. We can do this. But at the same time, a lot of the computer thing is very dependent on you accessing this to get your thing off.
Right.
We actually played. You just picked up the guitar, and if you were good, you did it. You went out and sang. You went with the group Slick, right?
Yes.
It was about having rehearsal, and y'all did y'all thing, right?
Yeah.
And somebody wrote a song, and
we sang the song.
There you go.
We performed, and we loved it.
And so I think in a lot of ways we had an advantage in some ways to some of the younger folks today because we do it. We did it. And we had places that would receive us. I mean, everything I became came from all the bars. When I played with Bobby Cook and all these people, just local music. And it's not like it was today. And I'm not knocking today, but there were shows. The people came out to see the performers to put a show on.
I know.
It wasn't about the open mic thing where the singer gets up with the band. You had to have this prepared. Am I right about this?
You're right. It's a show.
It's a show because they wanted the standard of what they were going to get at the Uptown or something. So it was a different thing, and everything I became came from that discipline.
Well, I often say, you know, like entertainers, I see them, but it's not the show that I grew up, the shows that I used to go to. It's not those shows. It's not, the excitement isn't there like the Uptown Theater, the shows that's just not there. And I always say, you can't do the same show over and over again. You have to always put some new stuff in your show, sing some new songs, you know, to keep the audience alive. Not always
keep them interested.
Instead of going back. But today we're so happy that things look like they may be better.
Okay.
And you guys are able to perform again. And even if it's outdoors, I'm just so happy. And Herb, I also want to thank you because you have contributed so much to the music industry, to this world of music.
I appreciate that.
And I want to say thank you because many of those songs we listened to that Patty did, you were on there playing. And I know that Patty was out front and star, but you were awesome also.
Well, thank you. I want to say thank you. I really do. Thank you.
And here at Simply Music, this is Simply Music Incorporated. And under Simply Music,
I like that name
Simply
too.
Music is a 501c3. And under the umbrella of Simply Music is the Doris Hall James Indie Show, the DHJ Indie Show, and Philly Live Radio. And we break it down like Simply Music. We do teaching and we do events. And then on the DHJ Indie Show, we interview people and we keep an archive of all of the interviews and the videos.
Really amazing.
Because sometimes it's the last interview that we have. So we do that. And on Philly Live Radio, we play their music.
I so appreciate that with you. I've told you that a lot, that you care that way. I mean, think about my boy Jimmy Williams, you know, the bass player. And
that was the last interview.
I mean, you know, and I'm getting to hear him and, you know, Dennis Harris, what he meant to me, you know, he still means. And man, it's important. It's just important that we document. And I just turned around to Alfonso Carey, guys. So she's going to be calling him.
Yes, I can.
Can I talk about my other boys that I turned you on to? Billy Johnson. I gave permission to give her the number, and Ronnie Smith, that's my dog, great guitar player. These guys were the Maze guys, you know, with Frankie and everything. And you know, T Life was a big influence for me.
I was just thinking about his name. As soon as you mentioned his name,
when Frankie was the house guy at the living room. Do you remember the living room?
No.
It was a bar. It was like a club on 13th off of Locust.
When Frankie, I remember him at, was it the Cosmopolitan?
I don't remember.
On Baltimore Avenue?
Oh, he played there?
Yeah.
Not the Ambassador. I'm thinking about the Ambassador.
I thought so. I'm not sure.
Oh, it was on 52nd in Baltimore?
Yes.
Where they had those,
it was 52nd in Baltimore.
Cabarets and stuff. Okay,
because I used to go up there and I used to see him up there.
Well, I never saw him there. But he was a local cat, you know. I mean, you know, he had the Butlers. I didn't know him in the Butlers, but I did. Billy and them turned me on to him when it was Frankie Beverly and Raw Soul, and they played down at the living room.
And T was with him.
T was playing guitar, And T said,
Hey,
Herbie,
T.
hey T, that's a dog. He said, Herbie, you can sit in with him. I'm like, what? I'm like, young. I'm like, sure. It meant a lot to me to sit in with them because they were hitting Sly Stone stuff like
Yeah.
Sly. And it was great. But I'm so proud of what he's been able to achieve,
Mhm.
man. You know, that brother's such a talent,
Mhm.
you know. But my boys backed him up on those records. And I want them to get their
Yeah.
due too. So
Well, I
it'll
know
be good
that
for you to.
my sister, she loved Frankie. And she
Mhm.
used to make me go to that Cosmopolitan out there. And I used to go, and he used to be kicking it out down there.
Yeah, he was a bad brother, man.
Great.
Very talented dude. I remember that song he had, Mother Nature. Mother Nature's been good to us, hasn't she?
Mm.
Nobody knows it except me. But I've been like some local people, but yeah, that was he wrote some really good stuff.
Well, Herb, I want to say thank you for doing this interview with me
Mhm.
for R&B Day.
Thank you for
I wanna
having me.
Thank
Yes.
you. Your career is just beginning.
Oh, I
okay?
love the sound of that.
Yeah, you're gonna do even better than you did with Patti LaBelle.
Well, thank
You
you.
just keep the
I
faith.
feel like I'm doing better now.
Yeah, you're gonna do better. Yeah, well, you're
You
doing
know-
better now.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because I'm employed, self-employed.
That's right.
It's my thing.
Isn't it great?
I can't be fired for my thing. Now, if the clubs don't dig what I'm doing, then I'm in trouble. But so far, it's been getting over. So, you know, keep knock on wood.
You just work. I'm self-employed too. And you say I do so many things.
Yeah. Oh, you're amazing.
I do so many things.
Yeah.
But I've worked as a school principal. That was my occupation
Wow.
for many years, and a school teacher. And I took
You
a
have
lot
to
of,
love kids, man.
I
for
love
that.
kids. I
Yeah.
love them. Okay.
Yeah.
You can give me a kid any day. Just don't give me an adult. You can give me a kid.
Right.
But I've taken some of those
You get
skills
the
that I
chance to mold
learned,
them, yeah, and touch
and
them.
I've transferred them into my music. Even when I was a teacher and a principal,
Mhm.
I used to sneak some money, take from Peter to Paul, so I can have music programs and
That's
classes
such a
in the
good
school.
thing. Yeah, man.
So,
yes.
All of that
Yes.
really counts. And I want to thank you today.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I want you to come back and, on the indie show and
Mhm.
update us for everything that you're doing.
Absolutely. And I appreciate the opportunity. Thank
Okay.
you all. Thank you, everybody.
And don't forget now, it's March 5th, and it's going to be on social media platforms, R&B Day. We want you to
R&B
tune
Day.
on. You're going to see a lot of different artists. You're going to hear some great old school music, and you're going to learn some history about R&B. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. See you soon.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.